Hello, welcome to the next podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. I'm going to continue on the preservation front this week. Some things I didn't touch on last week. I hope those tips were reasonable for you last week. I know you've got your own methods of preserving things, but just a little tips on a few things. So this week I'm just going to go into jumpers and blazers and things like that. Obviously, moths are the big problem for blazers. This one here is Brian Statham from 1953-54 tour to West Indies, which did have a couple of moth holes in it to start with when I bought it at auction. But if you do get blazers and jumpers, you can either put them in a sealable unit into a cupboard with some mothballs and things like that, just to keep the moths at bay. But as we know, it's not the moths that make the holes, it's their larvae. So if you do find a moth hole in there, what I normally do is I'd put them in the freezer for half an hour to an hour, and that kills them off. And you can, if you do unfortunately enough to find one of the little larvae, it comes out with a little tiny thing like that, so he's frozen by the time he comes out. So that's one little tip to get rid of them, but obviously you can keep them in sealable bags, which is a good idea. And the same goes for jumpers. This is a Ken Barrington's jumper, Surrey jumper. Again, this is in excellent condition, this one. But what they do over the time, they do shrink, unfortunately, which you can't do much about. So again, keep these in. You can either display these or put them in your cupboard. Again, in sealable units and with mothballs around. That one's in excellent condition. And that one's that's the Jack Hobbs, still got the auction labelled in there, the Jack Hobbs Fleet Street shop, that one come from. This next one is Willie Watson's MCC Jumper, but as you can see, this one, he was quite a big chap, one of our last double internationals, MCC Jumper, this one. But this has shrunk. Whether they shrink, this was shrunk before, well, a bad wash or something, but what I normally do when I buy them, I get them dry cleaned. But this one is it's just a bit small, this one now. But Willie Watson, I've got his jumper from the or blazer from the 53-54 tour as well to West Indies, so it's quite a nice little combination. The other thing was got some boots here. These were made for, as you can see on the side there, made for Jimmy Anderson. One of only two pairs ever made for him. He wore one, and these ones he didn't wear. So these were bought in an auction at Lancashire. He wore one pair, and these ones he didn't. Unfortunately, Woodworm, I think, ran out of sponsorship for him, so that was the end of that. But again, I'll put these in a box in a cupboard if I'm not on display. Which kept in very good condition, these ones, so I'm quite pleased with those. Books is another thing. Obviously you want to try, if you can, keep the dust off them, which is in a bookshelf. It's not easy to do, I know, but you can from time to time you can hoover it up the top, take them out, hoover them out, and then just perhaps put a sheet over the bookshelves, if that's a good idea. So that's another way of keeping books. Obviously there's the more expensive books, they come in a sleeve, like the Victor Trumper book from Peter Schofield, that comes in its own little sleeve, which gives it great protection. So quite pleased with that one. So that's a good way of doing it. When I've done my book, obviously I made 16 were in a folder as well. So it was quite an interesting way of keeping your book clean. Different ways of you can preserve your items, however you choose to do it. But I've just given you a few tips, and from other people as well that's commented on the video. So if you've got any comments or anything you want to say, or you've got some extra tips that people need, please forward them to me, so we can put them out on the wide world web, as they say. So just a short one this week, just to finish off the preservation, and then we'll do some more of the collections. Hopefully we're going to get out and about now with gone out of lockdown, or going in and out of lockdown, shall I say. So it's still difficult to get around people's houses. Whether they want to take you in or not is up to them, but it's obviously a bit restrictive for what I wanted to do in the first place. But I hope you're enjoying the video, so make a comment or get in touch with me just in case you want to make some comments. So bye for now. I hope you've enjoyed it.